after Villanova. Still sadly missed here at the Camp Nou. And the trophy now with the victorious squad. They don't show any signs of being any less disappointed with the latest trophy, do they?
No, they don't. They expect none. They demand. They had a fruitless season last year. It didn't work out for them, but they've come back, and that's what they've done. They've learned a big lesson. I said about Messi after the World Cup, he was rejuvenated when he came back. He looked like the old Messi, and that's what we've got. And that's why he's sitting on 58 goals this season now. And the front three's got 120, and they've now won their second trophy, and there's a third one up for grabs next week. All things being equal, Kevin, we could be talking about them being the treble winners and the have
song ringing around this giant arena. Look at these. Well, that face.
Barcelona have just completed the domestic double, beating Athletic Bilbao in the Copa del Rey by 3-1. These are the match facts: more attempts, more on target, more corners. Athletic couldn't really get close to Barcelona, especially in the first half. 29 fouls they made, more yellow cards, an incredible 73% possession. But as we know, it's all about the scoreline, and Barcelona pretty much tick every box right now. Absolutely incredible, and from we've touched on almost everything, but in terms of the physical aspects of how Luis Enrique has got this team to be peaking at this moment, again, how has he done it, Albert?
Well, when he came, and even when he was at the second team of Barcelona, everybody was talking about Luis Enrique because he liked to do running and bike, and he was very demanding in the physical condition of the team. So I think the physical coach, I think he came from the athletics as well. So he made the team to work very, very hard and keep them up physically through all the season. It is true that during the season you cannot really work much in physical condition because they play every 3 days, but it has been very important for the team. No injuries or very few injuries, no rotations. Don't forget that we were talking to David during the game that apart from Xavi and Mathieu, the others, they're using 13, 14 players and they kept them fit until the end of the season, and that's a hard work they've been doing through the season.
How difficult is that as a coach, David, to get the team peaking, not just throughout the season, but especially at the business end?
Yeah, it is important, you know, but it needs good management as well. And they didn't start the season brilliantly well, Barcelona, you know, but I think what they came into form, and obviously since, you know, I'm going to say it, we beat them over just in the first game back after Christmas time. They've hardly lost. They've gone into that mode. This is now our job. We have to win. So I think getting them right for this time of the year, and they've been in this mood for 1 or 2 months, maybe more, where they've been winning well, showing a great style, and obviously they've won the league. They've now gone on and won the cup, and they've got one more game to try and do the treble.
If we look at the Luis Enrique way of training, I didn't really follow him in Roma, but in the Barca second team and in Celta de Vigo, the best games they have played, it was the second half of the year. So the first half was so-so, and the second half they just fly. That happened the 2 or 3 previous years of Luis Enrique as a manager. So he has to do something because the team at the end of the season is very strong and physically very, very fit.
Since that game against Real Sociedad, your Real Sociedad, that defeat, 29 wins out of 33. They've lost just 2, and one of those, of course, was against Bayern Munich, where quite simply they switched off in the second half. Absolutely incredible. But when you have someone like Lionel Messi in your side, just how much easier does it make it, and how good was he tonight?
Well, he wins games on his own, you know, and your team doesn't need to be playing great. I mean, this goal, you know, I think this is an unbelievable goal. This isn't the goal, is it? This is part of the play before it. This is a bit of Messi's play. But all round tonight, he was instigator of nearly all the chances, making the goals. You know, they're very difficult to stop him. When you hear people saying, you know, double up on him or kick him, he's actually probably the most kicked player in Spain. But you don't see him going down. You don't see him staying down very often. And it's something which they do quite well. I mean, this to wriggle out of trouble was incredible. Some of the stuff he done tonight was mesmerising, it really was.
But you just see it continually, game after game, and against the lower teams in La Liga, against the top teams in the Champions League. Is he the best ever for you, Albert?
Well, my memory is not very long. I have 40 years old, more or less, so I didn't have the opportunity to see players like Pelé, something of Maradona, so I cannot really compare.
You're old enough to see Maradona. I'm old enough to have seen him. You're old enough as well.
Well, but do you know what happened with Messi? It seemed to me that he is the best, and he will be the best because he's been at that level for many, many years. While the other players, they had 2 or 3 good seasons at that level. But he's been, I don't know, when he started with Barcelona, he was 19, and he's been doing that for 8 years. And there are very, very few players in history who can play like that for such a long time.
Best ever for you, David?
Well, growing up, you would only have a chance on your television to see the likes of Maradona. You know, when he was in Italy, we didn't have quite as much good footage of the players. Even you talked about Pelé, you know, we all know about Pelé, but we didn't see him every week like we can see Messi or even, as I said, Maradona. So for me, you know, Ronaldo's a top player as well, but I think individually Messi at times gives you something what you know you don't see. So I think we're really fortunate at this period in football that we've got people like Messi, Ronaldo in our game where we can see them regular on television.
It's perhaps the longevity that makes him the difference between him and Diego Maradona, but fantastic, both him and, of course, Ronaldo to watch as well. OK, more to come from David and Albert, as we'll have more reaction from the Copa del Rey. We'll also look ahead to the Champions League final. The treble is on, but will it happen? Barcelona, the Copa del Rey champions, they have won the domestic double. 3 goals from the front 3, 2 from Lionel Messi, incredible performance from him, 1 from Neymar, which means now they have 120 goals between them this season, which is a new Spanish record. Remember, Luis Suarez was out for the first 2 months, and they still have a game to go. Absolutely incredible. OK, the treble is on. Let's talk about the Champions League final now. How do you see it going against Juventus, Albert?
It's going to be a tough game. Completely different team than Athletic Club. A team that they're happy defending. Possibly they're going to play with 3 centre backs. And that's going to be more difficult for Barcelona because they normally try to get into the box through the middle. And it's a team where they don't need to play great football to win. They have Morata up front, they have Tevez, they can counter-attack, they can score goals. They are happy defending with 8-9 players behind the ball, so it's going to be difficult to find the spaces, but still believe that Barcelona are a stronger team. How do Juve stop Barca, David?
Well, maybe typical old Italian defending, which they've been renowned for over the years. I think the Italians are some of the best defenders, great sort of man-to-man defenders. As Albert said, you know, they may play 3 at the back, they may play 4 at the back. Juventus over the last couple of years under Conte played 3 at the back. I've sort of changed to 4.
What would you do?
Well, it's a bad example, but I watched Eibar play 3 at the back against Barcelona, and I know it's a long way away from Juventus, but what they tried to do, so I've seen different ways where you could try and stop them. I think you have to try and defend well and be compact and hard to score against and hope that you can take your chances when you get it. But no, Juventus have got to the final because they're a top team in Europe. You know, they've beaten great teams in the route to the final, so I don't think we underestimate. And with people like Tevez in the team, well, there's always goals around. They've got Pogba and Vidal, so we're talking about really, really good players. So the game will be close, but at the moment I'm finding it hard to see past the individuality of what Barcelona offer, especially up front. How many goals do Juve need to score?
Juve, well, I don't know. I think Barcelona will score some goals there. And the problem that teams that play against Barcelona have is that you can train, you can be tactically very well, but the problem is will it last for 90 minutes? It is very difficult to keep concentration for 90 minutes because Barcelona are trying to attack, were attacking the whole game. So if you are not concentrated for a couple of seconds, possibly they created a chance. So it's very difficult to hold Barcelona for an hour and a half. So it's not going to be easy for Juventus.
So in a words, the treble goes to Barcelona, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think it will, yeah.
David?
I don't think it'll be as easy as that. I hope for Patrice Evra, who was one of my ex-teammates, ex-players last year, I should say. I hope he gets a great performance in a result. But I find it hard to see past Barcelona just because of the quality and how well they're playing just now.
Very different times at the moment in Madrid. It looks like Real Madrid are going to appoint Rafa Benitez on Wednesday as their new coach. Is he the right man?
It's difficult to say. I think Rafa is one of the top managers in the world, and obviously he can do the job. But the question is, 1 year without titles and they sack the manager again. A manager gave you the Champions League the season before. So this is all about projects. In Spain, the managers won't last more than a couple of seasons, and that's a bit sad, isn't it?
Difficult, I know. I appreciate for you to comment on, David, but what do you feel he needs to do in Madrid
Rafa?
to compete with Barcelona?
Well, they do compete with Barcelona. It's you know, the points have been very small. It's been a really tight league all year. You know, I think Carlo's done a great job, and I'm disappointed to see Carlo Ancelotti leave Real Madrid because he's a great coach, but he's a good guy. He's had success, but this year they've just been a wee bit below Barcelona, and the margins are so small. So, I mean, if you go to the big clubs, you know what you have to do. You have to win, and that's what you do when you go there.
You're looking forward to next season at Real Sociedad? Started player recruitment already?
Yeah, we are. We're out there looking and trying to strengthen the squad. Our team wasn't good enough to finish much more than mid-table. We took over when we were in relegation trouble. So, you know, with a good sort of second half to the season, we played much better. But we need to add a few more goals. We need to add some more creativity if we can, and you know, and maybe a defender or two as well. So, one step at a time. We'll try and get one in, then we'll try and get the next one in, and try and build a stronger team.
You said on Monday in Revista that nationalities are not important to you, but obviously you know the British market well. Are you looking to dip into that?
Yeah, if I could, because I do know the market well. And there isn't that many British players playing in Spain. Or obviously we talk about Gareth Bale a lot, but there isn't that many. So if I can get some, great. But it doesn't matter whether they're British, but as long as they come in and improve the squad, and we're looking in other countries as well. And hopefully we can add one or two to what we've got.
And what about you, Albert? Looking forward to get back to management again?
Hopefully I can start again next season and make it last a little bit longer.
Well, so, you did an extremely good job, but you're looking for Spain or England, or don't know?
Anywhere, Spain and England are the two markets I would love to be managing a team, but we have to wait and see.
We do indeed. David, thank you very much for coming in. Good luck for next season. Good luck to you as well in getting a club. I'm sure you will, Albert. OK, one more game left for Barcelona this season. What a big one it is. They and Juventus are going for the treble. Which team will come out on top? The Champions League final, Juve-Barca, next Saturday, June the 6th. All the build-up from 6 on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports 5. So Barcelona are the Copa del Rey winners. They won the double. Can they win the treble? Have a great summer.